Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications and subscribe to my podcast channel and my backup channel. Link will be in description. Nicki Minaj shuts down Brooklyn and brings out the icons at her shows. She brought out Cyndi Lauper, who is sampled on Pink Friday Girls, and Nicki Minaj sampled Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That's a classic record. She also brought out one half of Salt and Pepper. Pepper was out on the stage. I believe Salt is a Christian and she no longer performs, allegedly, no longer performs a lot of her rap music, and that's why she wasn't there, because she is a Christian now, so she don't perform any type of rap music. She also brought out Young M.A., who is not an icon, no shade, but she is a great rapper, and I think a lot of people were excited to see Young M.A., especially after last year when those pictures leaked of her looking a little bit sick. So a lot of people were happy to see Young M.A. Also, Kai Cenat was there dancing on stage. I was like, I don't really like Kai like that, no shade. I don't know what it is about him, but I really don't care for him like that. But he is a Barb, or his sister is a Barb and his mom is a Barb, so I wasn't really shocked to see him there. But I don't really care for him like that. I think he's a little bit overhyped, in my opinion. But everybody else, like Young M.A., Peppa, and Cyndi Lauper, I definitely thought they should have been on stage. And, Nicki Minaj did a great job, contacting them and letting them perform at, the Pink Friday 2 tour. She also brought out the group called 41. I don't think they have a lot of mainstream success, but this is also a good look for Nicki Minaj for looking out for the younger generation. Now, some fans were saying, Nicki should have brung out Lil' Kim, but Lil' Kim should be doing her own world tour. Why is Nicki Minaj responsible for bringing out Lil' Kim and Remy Ma? They should have been done their own world tour. They came out before Nicki. They should have brought Nicki Minaj out. They should have been bigger than Nicki, but unfortunately they weren't, and they never will be. But if Lil' Kim and Remy Ma had apologized to Nicki Minaj behind the scenes, then maybe Nicki would have given them a chance. And I heard Lil' Kim, she did want to make amends with Nicki Minaj, and that's why she wanted to do the verses, but that's not an apology. We need a public apology because you was in interviews on The Breakfast Club, on Hot 97, throwing dirt on Nicki Minaj's name. So, I am not shocked that she didn't bring out Lil' Kim. And what is Lil' Kim going to perform? Woman by Doja Cat again? I mean, she don't even perform her own songs half the time. So, Nicki Minaj is dominating, touring, in female rap. I don't think any other female rapper is going to be able to top this tour. With the guests alone, it's going to be very hard. Now, moving on to Botch and Bitter, fans are accusing Botch and Bitter of teasing another Nicki Minaj diss track or sending bars back to JT after JT made fun of her loose tooth and her veneers popping out in the song Okay, so let's take a listen.
My friends, Monica Phoebe, I'm point on PG, eating hoes up, I'm greedy, trips to the border, You feeling my aura, eating tempura, eating hoes up. I got a disorder. Like that. Nigga.
I hope those ain't the lyrics, because that was trash. I hope that wasn't the lyrics to the song, because that was trash. That's the best you can do? Eating bitches up, I got a disorder? That's the best? Oh my goodness, Partisan Fontaine must be on hiatus. That was trash. I don't think you eating nothing up with that melted face and them whack ass bars. That's not eating nothing up. You gotta go back to the drawing board. No wonder it's taking so long for you to put out your second album. And with those type of bars, you should keep that in the stash. And then she told her fans on social media, I believe this was on Instagram, that the song is called Don't Do Too Much. And Botch and Bitter is always doing too much. So she should really dedicate that song to herself because you always do the most. You put in the least work, but then you always do the most and you always get the most payola awards. Okay? Not only that, Akbar has been calling out Botch and Bitter for her getting sneak punched, which we briefly discussed in our last video. And Akbar is still going off. She asked Botch and Bitter and said, "You coochie, B-word. You send hoes who don't even step for real. That little ish you doing didn't move me, coochie. Ho, come harder. You botch face bitch." Oh my goodness. Not botch face B-word. Come on now. Ak, you don't want her to start throwing bottles. Then Glowstick has to put in her 2 cents. I'm so tired of this hoe. She put in her 2 cents and said, did the girl have shell toes? Because she responded to a video circulating around, Twitter of basically Ak getting punched in the face and falling to the floor. And so then Ak responded to Glowstick and said, "Shut your bitch ass up. That ish ain't respected. Think you gonna pop out somewhere and I'm there? Is your ass big apple brittle head asshole? None of that ish is respected. Coochie. B-word, it was a snuck." Okay, well, you gotta come harder with the clapbacks. This was all over the place. I mean, I could barely read this. You gotta come harder with the clapbacks. And why don't you hoes ever go into the studio? You see Kung Fu Kenny going to the studio with Champagne Thickums. Go to the studio and stop all this back and forth. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give Akbar, Botch and Bitter, and Glorilla Glue Donkey of the Day. Okay? Botch and Bitter is getting Donkey of the Day because, first of all, you're hiring people to sneak punch other female rappers. That's corny. Glorilla Glue, you never can mind your business, always in the drama. And then Akbar, you need to go focus on your career and stop replying to female rappers. Okay? All of y'all need to get in the studio instead of doing the internet drama. Now, moving on to Doja Cat, we got to give Doja Badu her 10s. Okay? Doja Cat is getting her 10s today because I watched her performance for the Jimmy Fallon show. She performed there. I think she performed the song Acknowledge Me, and she did a fantastic job. I mean, Doja Cat, performance-wise, she's one of the best. She's one of the best in our generation. I mean, the vocals were there. I'm tired of her wearing that hairy outfit though. She really should just keep hair on her head and stop walking around here looking like Bigfoot. I mean, goodness gracious. I'm like, why don't you keep hair on your head and remove it everywhere else? I don't like the hairy outfits that she be wearing. But the performance, if you have not watched it on Jimmy Fallon, it deserves a 10. I mean, she has remarkable talent. Okay? Only if she just wasn't so demonic and weird. And only if she didn't date racist white men, I could really get into Doja Cat a little bit more. But I still support Doja Cat, not as much. I haven't bought any recent music. But if she go back to the Planet Her era, I definitely will support that. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion's Payola, it has been reported that 2 versions of Glorilla Glue and Megan Thee Stallion's Wannabe are charting inside the top 5 of the US on iTunes. I don't think it's in the top 5 anymore. And I'll be honest with you, I don't hear nobody talking about this song. I don't even know what this song sounds like. I don't think I've fully ever listened to the full record. Okay? But I definitely think some payola is involved. Megan Thee Stallion is under Warner. Okay? And I think that they're giving her the payola package because I don't hear nobody talking about that record. But Megan Thee Stallion's upcoming 3rd studio album has already surpassed 100 million streams on Payolify and sold over 100K units with its pre-release singles Cobra and Piss. Now, Piss was a big record for Megan Thee Stallion because she was dissing Champagne Thickums, Tory the Baby, Nicki Minaj, Partisan Fontaine. She done dissed everybody. Some people credit her for kicking off a lot of these male rappers and female rappers beefing. Now, let me know in the comments how much y'all think Megan Thee Stallion is gonna do first week, okay? A lot of fans are saying with the success of Cobra and Piss that Megan Thee Stallion is gonna do 100,000 first week, okay? And I think that she possibly could. If she getting this type of payola, I wouldn't be shocked if she do 150 or 100,000 first week, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Megan Thee Stallion, she does have the sympathy train behind her. Now, moving on to Scratch Off. Scratch Off, despite her not having any recent hit singles, she has made history as one of the longest charting songs by a female rapper on the payola Hot 100 in history, with more than 50 weeks. Low Energy is on this list with 51 weeks on the charts. Okay, now number one is Botch and Bitter and Maroon 5's Girl Like You collaboration at 52 weeks. I believe that song went diamond. Then we got Doja Cat, Woman, 52 weeks. That's a classic. And then we also got Botch and Bitter, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin, I Like It, at 51 weeks. Okay. Woman is a classic, in my opinion. Everything on this list I didn't really listen to. No shade. But I do remember I Like It being very popular. I will give Botch and Bitter that. I Like It. I heard people playing that record all the time, when that came out in 2018. So let me know how y'all feel about that. I just feel like, Scratch Off, she won't ever get another hit like Low Energy ever again. That was like her prime. I don't think she'll ever get another hit like that again. Now, moving on to Queen Bee. So every song from Queen Bee's Cowboy Carter has now sold over 100,000 units in the U.S. Congratulations to Queen Bee. Unfortunately, she didn't really write Cowboy Carter. She had writers. So I can't give her full credit, but I can give her partial credit for at least singing, the songs. And then also Queen Bee has been crowned the new fashion queen. Okay, hopefully she goes to the Met this year. The New York Times posted an article called Queen Bee's Last Fashion Frontier. The article states, until now, with Cowboy Carter finally, her fashion and her mission has become one and the same, and effects is industry shifting even more than Taylor Swift, her fellow diva of the moment, which is false. The chart-obsessed racist ain't no damn diva. But with that being said, she has determined the look of the moment according to a spokeswoman from Lyst, which is a fashion search engine for Western-related product engagement, and it's up 59% this year. We've seen a 51% increase in searches for cowboy boots, a 31% increase in searches for Levi jeans since, the song and album Cowboy Carter dropped, and a 50% increase featuring the keyword cowboy. And this is thanks to Queen Bee, the fashion icon. Okay, I feel like right now, Queen Bee got better fashion game than Forehead, aka Rihanna. Okay, and she got 3 children. And, Rihanna was talking about, parents are lazy fashion dressers. No, you're lazy. Blake Lively, Queen Bee, they be bringing it with the fashions. You don't, okay? You lazy. So with that being said, Queen Bee is the newest fashion icon, okay? Because even though cowboy boots and Levi jeans have been around, she's bringing that back with Cowboy Carter. I've seen a lot of people wear cowboy hats, including Riri, recently, and she wasn't doing that before. Okay, so Queen Bee has been renamed the fashion icon for this generation. I think it's her and Zendaya that have been taking the crown, and hopefully she goes to the Met, because I feel like at the Met, she finna shut it down. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on to Normani's Payola 5 streams for 159. Okay. So the streams have definitely gone down, but she's kind of somewhat stable. You know, the first day she did 900,000. The second day she did 500,000. Third day, 400,000. Fourth day, 400,000. Fifth day, 300,000. Almost 400,000 though. And hopefully she chart, you know, because these streams, they're looking kind of, you know, not that great. But I also feel like Normani should not have picked this song, 159, which is a bop. I love this song. I've been streaming it nonstop. I think the song is definitely fire, but I don't feel like it was supposed to be a lead single. That's just me. And I also feel like she should have dropped the music video the same day as the single. Like, you need to pull out all the stops, Normani, because you're not really getting much of a push. You need to pull out all the stops when you drop a single. Because at the end of the day, you don't have a huge fan base. So you got to captivate an audience with the music video. You need the radio. You need a playlisting right away. Not 2 to 3 weeks later. Okay? Because if this song flops, Normani, it's not going to be good for you. Okay? I hate to break it to you. This song cannot flop. It needs to chart. Okay? It should at least do top 50 on the Hot 100. No shade. Now, moving on to Kung Fu Kenny and Champagne Thickums. Kung Fu Kenny completely annihilated Champagne Thickums with Euphoria. Okay? Called him everything in the book, so just nicely and calmly, except a man of God. He just completely destroyed Champagne Thickums. But a lot of fans are debating, should Champagne Thickums be saying the N-word? Okay, I want y'all to let me know in the comments, because Kung Fu Kenny said that he no longer can say the N-word. I think, you know, I love Kung Fu Kenny, but Champagne Thickums is allowed to say the N-word, okay? He is half black. You know, people want to say biracial, mixed, whatever. You know, if you're biracial, I consider you black. I don't care what nobody says. I'm not walking around here telling people who identify as black, oh, you're biracial. You're only 75% black, okay? Because no shade of Kung Fu Kenny, it was revealed that your wife is mixed too. No shade. You know, there's been pictures circulating that your wife is not 100% black either, okay? Now, she might be a little bit more blacker than Champagne Thickums because her mother looks mixed. You know, Champagne Thickums' mother is completely white. But no shade, you know, you can't have that type of double standard. So I do think Champagne Thickums and Doja Cat are allowed to say the N-word. If Chris Breezy the colorist can say it, so can everybody else. He biracial too, okay? But I will say that Champagne Thickums moves like a Karen, but he do probably identify as black, but he do move like a Karen. Getting people's songs removed and sending cease and desist and telling your mama Rick Ross and Kung Fu Kenny are racist, that's Karen behavior. So does Doja Cat. She moves like a Karen too. So that's the thing about the biracial rappers. They kind of move like Karens, but they identify as black. You can't be both. Okay, so I will say that, like, Champagne Thickums move like a Karen. But I do think he's allowed to say the N-word. Okay, if everybody else that's mixed, like J. Cole, if he's allowed to say it, everybody else should be able to say it. But the hot tea is Cardi B shouldn't even be allowed to say it. Y'all need to stop focusing on Champagne Thickums and Doja Cat and ban Botchin' Bitter and Fat Messy Joe from the culture, who are not black, who are real culture vultures, and they should not even be allowed to be in hip-hop. Okay, Botchin' Bitter shouldn't even be allowed to rap. She needs to get dropped from her contract immediately. She's not selling no records anyway, and she should not even be allowed to say the N-word. She is not black at all. But let me know how y'all feel about it. I got some hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.